Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So this is February's episode of #CraftYourselfFree. Now, if you do not know what this hashtag collaboration is, let me briefly explain. Myself and the gorgeous Christina over at Bella Uncinetto. If you're not familiar, go make yourself familiar. She is amazing. We decided to come up with this collaboration that we invite absolutely everybody and anybody to join in. We decided that there are quite a few collaborations or ideas similar to this going around, and they are awesome, and they were the inspiration to kind of build upon, where we are encouraging you to, like the hashtag says, craft yourself free. And what we mean by that is to try and use up as much of your crafting supplies as you possibly can. Now, this can be absolutely any craft at all. Christina even said over on her channel that she would even include things like gardening, cooking, books you've read, jigsaw puzzles you've made, literally anything that gives you joy, guys. There are, like I said, other things that concentrate on like the yarny crafts, because we are yarny channels and this is the yarny YouTube, but we wanted to broaden it up and open it up to lots of other crafters and other makers as well. And people are doing it in various different ways. I am weighing my finished items and only including my finished items in my totals, because now that I'm mixing in more than just yarn, it's quite hard to keep a track of. So for example, yes, I can weigh the cowl that I made and know that I used a certain amount of grams or ounces in that cowl. I don't have the capability or the wanting to work out specific yardage. That would just hurt my brain and confuse me. And because I also make smaller crochet projects a lot of the time, I don't always use a full skein. So I can't really do it by yarn labels either. And this month, as another example, I've included one of the diamond paintings that I finished this month. Am I going to count every single individual diamond drill or diamond dot that I've put on that painting? Again, don't have the headspace or the want to do that. No, thank you. So I just think, just weigh everything. Weigh the diamond painting, weigh the finished crochet piece. You know, if you are including some of the things that Christina mentioned, like cooking, you could weigh the cake that you bake, for example. I don't know, you do it in a way that makes sense to you. There's no wrong or right, because this is a kind of tailor it to yourself kind of collaboration. It's such a loose collaboration. There's no hard and fast rules. That was another thing that we wanted to get away from. There are no rules with this. It doesn't have to be craft supplies bought before a specific time. It doesn't have to be certain types of crafts only. It doesn't have to be anything that pigeonholes you or restricts you. Craft yourself free. Free yourself from, so like in my case, start freeing myself from the huge stash that I have got. I love the fact that I've got a huge stash. I don't see it as a negative. I'm absolutely in love with my yarn collection and so thankful for my yarn collection. But if I want to keep buying new, I have to use some of what I've already got. So I need to free up the space to make space for new. And I want to free myself in the sense of, if I fancy making a sweater, I'm going to make a sweater. If I fancy doing a diamond painting, I'm going to make a diamond painting. I may even bake a cake and weigh it 1 month. Who knows? This just needs to be the most fun, relaxing, enjoyable, rule-free zone ever is what we're trying to achieve, and we encourage you to join along with us. You can always email us with your statistics, however you are keeping track. You can send us pictures of your finished items if you would like. Now, Christina is a bit more fancy than me. She can put pictures into her videos, or she can do slideshows. I literally post them on my community tab, or I hold up my phone showing you what somebody's made. I don't have the time, the inclination, or the want to learn how to edit right now. I am an edit-free channel. It is raw, all the mistakes are kept in, and I cannot be fancy every time. I need to just film, upload it, done. Film, upload it, done. That is all I have got time for right now. So, but I'm still willing to share your things. If you want me to share them on my community tab, I am more than happy to do so. In fact, I was recently sent a finished item from the lovely Josephine, who joined in with Tile of the Week many moons ago now. And she has finished her big make using the majority of those tiles. And she said that I could share it on my community tab. So Josephine, if you are watching, I am going to pop it on my community tab for today. And the rest of you, if you want to go over and see that make that Josephine has finished, then it will be on my community tab now. So when the video is finished, just pop on over and tell Josephine what a wonderful job she did. Build her up and compliment her. It always feels good when others appreciate our skills and talents. So yeah, I'm more than happy to do that. But also, there's no pressure for any of you to do that either. If you just quietly want to make with us and keep track of your usage in your way, but never publicize it, that is okay too. We literally want you to do you in this collaboration. So if you want to, great. If you don't want to, great. That is fine. And also, we're not pressuring people to join either. You either want to or you don't. But it's just an option should you wish to choose and do it. So there is nothing else but to give you my statistics. And like I said, I do it in weight. Now here in the UK, we do use grams, but I know that a lot of my watchers are from the US and you guys still use ounces. So I will give you my totals in grams and ounces for you. Okay. And actually, that's just reminded me that you still have like pounds of yarn and stuff. So I don't even know how many ounces are in a pound. I'm going to check it out. I think actually it might be 16, but let me just double check. How many ounces in a pound? 16 ounces. So do you know what? I might start adding pounds onto that as well. So let me just do a calculation a second. Okay, and then that divided by that, 2.4 pounds. So just to remind you, because I'm going to go back to January now that I've decided to include pounds for you. Didn't occur to me to do it last time. Let me just do the calculations that I just did for February. So and then 72.2 divided by 16 equals 4.5 pounds. Okay, awesome. So for January, we've already done that, but I did 2,056 grams, which was 72.2 ounces. Now, grams turned into kilograms for us, so that's 2.56 kilos. But then the 72.2 ounces turns into 4.5 pounds, 4.5 pounds of yarn I used in January. That is pretty amazing when you think of it that way. So let's give you February's now. So you will have seen yesterday that I did manage to crochet my 40 pairs of crocheted hearts that I wanted to do for Hearts Healing Hearts, a charity here in the UK. They weighed a grand total of 250 grams or 8.8 ounces. That's quite a bit of scrap out of my scrap bin, which is amazing. And then I made another 15 baby blanket squares for the military base newborn baby hampers that are being made. So those 15 squares added another 537 grams or 18.9 ounces. I then also completed my Phoenix diamond painting this month, and that was itty bitty. It was only 26 grams or 0.9 ounces, but every gram and every ounce counts. And then finally, you will not know this yet, but I will give you a spoiler. I did finish my Ashley cowl, the design that I was doing, following a tutorial by the gorgeous Cinnamon Stitches as part of the challenge that she put out for me. I did get that one done, guys. It is completed. You will see that tomorrow in my crochet catch up. And that weighed a total of 279 grams or 9.84 ounces. So in total for February, I have managed to use 1,092 grams, which would be 1.092 kilos, or that's 38.5 ounces, which is 2.4 pounds of yarn. So not massive, but nothing to be sniffed at either. That is still quite a bit considering February's a really short month. And I didn't get as much done this month as I anticipated, although it did help having that diamond painting to include, and it did help having that challenge given to me by Jen Cinnamon Stitches, because the cowl wouldn't have been made otherwise. So my totals would have been even less than what they are. But that is still a really good usage for a month. I'm really proud of that. I am keeping a running total for each month in my notebook, so that when it comes to December, I will be able to give you the grand total of how much I have used for the year. I know a lot of people don't tally, don't keep track. It doesn't bother them. They just like the fact that they've got yarn to use. They use it when they use it, and when it's gone, it's gone. But for me, these sorts of things really do kind of motivate me, and they do inspire me to keep going and keep up my momentum. It ignites my want to get stuff done and get things used and, you know, get them to where they need to be, because although they look gorgeous sat behind me in my yarn wall, they do deserve to eventually grow up and be turned into something beautiful, either for myself, a friend, a loved one, or for charity purposes. So, you know, it just keeps me going. It's like, oh, what can I use up now? How much can I use now? What am I going to use for this project? And also it does still give me that motivation of, okay, I want to make this. So what have I got in my stash with that quantity? Like, do I have a sweater's quantity of this yarn? If not, what do I have a sweater's quantity worth in, and is it appropriate for the make? And it makes me sometimes pick yarns that aren't my immediate go-to, that aren't my immediate comfort zone or in my wheelhouse of colour choice. It is making some of the less Manfa yarns I've got in my stash get used as well and have a fair crack at being worked into something. So it really is across the board something that works for me. And it also, not that Mike cares at all, but it kind of helps me with the, I want to make a yarn order. I want to make a yarn order because I don't have the quantity and I don't have this colour. And also I used 19 skeins this month. So I used 19, I'm only ordering 5. He really couldn't care. He's like, I don't care. Even if you didn't use 19 skeins, buy it anyway. If it makes you happy, buy it. But it justifies it in my girl brain that if I am using 19 and only bringing in 5, I'm using more than I'm bringing in, if that makes sense. Now, that has already been blown to smithereens because I did 2 quite large yarn orders at the beginning of the year, or the very end of last year, coming into the new year, because I ordered it at the end of the year. It didn't arrive until the very beginning of this year, and I still haven't used as much as I brought in, but I'm getting there. If you remember, I bought 40 cakes from the Knitting Network. Well, they weren't cakes, but I did use 19 skeins of yarn creating those blanket squares for those blankets. So if you think about it, that's nearly half of those cakes that I've already whipped up into something. And then all the other bits and pieces that I'm doing on top. I'm getting there slowly, guys, and I have slowed down on the yarn buying. I am now getting to that point where I'm slowly evening up what I brought in and what I've used, and hopefully I can overtake what I'm bringing in and have it mostly what's being used and going out in whatever way it's going out. So yeah, that is the plan. But those are my statistics for February. It's about half of what I did last month, but it is a shorter month. So let's see what March brings. Let's see what totals we can get out. It's not a competition. There aren't any prizes. There isn't anything to kind of be rewarded for doing it, other than you are using your pretties in your collection. You are digging deep and finding yarns you might have forgotten about. You are using those colours that you wouldn't go to and grab first. So that's a win in itself. And like I said, every single cake, donut, skein, hank, whatever form your yarn is in, it all deserves to be used at some point, and this is just to encourage you to do just that. So there we have it. Like I said, come back tomorrow for crochet catch up. I have just given you a spoiler with a completed object that you didn't know I had done, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's gorgeous. It really is. I love it to absolute bits and pieces, but you'll have to come back to see it tomorrow. Anyway, until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye, guys. Oh, go check out Josephine's make on my community post. Thanks. Love ya. Bye.